Greetings and salutations, our relaxed gamer nation, and welcome back to my Space Engineers build world. Well, one of my build worlds, anyway. Uh, yeah. So I got a little bit of a treat here for you. I had to do a little bit of calculating and figuring out and stuff like this, primarily for my no suit abandoned frontier survival game. And I was like, okay, so do I really need to go towards possibly getting up all the machinery necessary in order to get the most ore possible? Yes and no. I'll explain that in a moment. But first, look behind me. Oh, what's that? No, I don't know. It's this one. No, not that one. But yeah, if you like this type of video, like that, hit this little subscribe button, and definitely comment below. Anyway, I did a little bit of a thing back there, as you might have seen. Yep, you'll see it in the next episode. So, what are we doing? Well, other than my little build world here, which has a whole bunch of miscellaneous stuff which I've been working on, I got a little bit of an apparatus over here. This is my refinery apparatus. This is how I am going to figure out what is the best way of doing things. Now, I am using Industrial Overhaul in the Abandoned Frontier Survival, Hardcore Survival, so we have a little bit different process than we normally do. Now, you don't need to know if you can mine stone better this way. It's hands down, a refinery is going to do better for you. It's going to give you about 30% more yield than doing it through your refinery, your smelter. But here's the thing about Industrial Overhaul. We don't have these modules. Those modules don't exist in Industrial Overhaul. Instead, we have these things. We have an ore crusher and we have an ore purifier. In addition, the smelter is useful no matter what time you are in your Industrial Overhaul survival, because the smelter and refinery don't refine the same stuff. I'll show you. I'll show you here. So let's go over to one of our cargo containers. Now, in the cargo containers, each one of these cargo containers is the same. I have 1,000 iron, nickel, cobalt, silicon, copper, sulfur, lithium, uranium, tar, and rubble. So I think some of that stuff already got pushed into, because gold's supposed to be in there too. It's in there. It's just not in there here. What is going on? Oh, I think I know what happened, because I turned this on for a moment. Well, either way, we have all the materials we need. We can mine and process in our cargo container, even though it didn't show on these cargo containers. It just is what it is. I turned this grid on for a moment and it pulled everything. So yeah. Anyway, so once all the items go through the process of going through the cargo container, you need to look into using sorters, because sorters are going to be your lifeblood of the Industrial Overhaul. Are they necessary? Yes and no. If you do not have a sorter between at least your cargo container and your smelter, it's not going to hurt you out too much. However, when you start working on what is it? On your ore process, being going through the crusher and the purifier, etc., sorters are something that you should definitely be working on. Because the refinery and the smelter do not refine the same things. The crusher will crush all the ores that it can, and the purifier will purify all the crushed ores so you can get more yield. So what we're going to do is, we've already started this up, and it's been running for a while, and we're going to go over here and check out what our yields are. So, with our raw ore, we have all these items which cannot be refined. None of this stuff here is refinable in the smelter. You can't smelt aluminum, sulfur, lithium, titanium, tantalum, platinum, uranium, silver, gold, coal tar, or oil sand, or rubble. Differently here is the refinery line. In the refinery, you cannot smelt iron, nickel, cobalt, silicon, copper, sulfur, lithium, uranium, tar, or oil sand, and rubble. I hate that it says tar, but whatever. So each machine does their own thing. So this is my control line. And down here is my yield. So as you can see in here, I have copper, iron, silicon, nickel, and cobalt. In here, I have aluminum, titanium, carbon, silver, gold, platinum, and oil sand, or tantalum, sorry. The oil sand and coal are not refined by either machine. Neither is lithium or sulfur, or what was the other one that couldn't be refined here? Lithium, sulfur, uranium, tar, or uranium. Uranium is not refined into an ingot. It is used as a component for power systems, for future power systems. So here are our control yields. Wow, I spelled that well. Did I do the same thing here? No, okay. So in the smelter, we got 800 copper, 700 iron and silicon, 600 nickel, and 400 cobalt. Now, keep in mind that I am not doing stone on this, because it skews the results a little bit too much, and especially when we come down to the crushers and beyond. So this is what we can smelt in the smelter: copper, iron, silicon, nickel, and cobalt. That's it. In the refinery, you will notice that there is no copper, no iron, no silicon, no nickel, and no cobalt, because the refinery is used primarily for other things like aluminum, titanium, silver, gold, platinum, and tantalum. I have no idea what tantalum's for. I think it's for some sort of weapons or something of that sort. But you get 600 aluminum, 400 titanium, 100 silver, 50 gold, 25 platinum, and 10 tantalum. That's just from going raw ore directly to the machines. Next, we step it up a level, because crushed ore can be processed in both the smelter and the refinery. In the smelter, we get the same materials: copper, iron, silicon, nickel, and cobalt, but we get a lot more of it. The downside about that is now it's going through a separate process, which takes a little longer. So if you want a fast rate, you probably want to put 2 smelters down, or 2 ore crushers down, to go relatively quickly so you can go through your machines. But with that, we get 1.5 yield versus our control yield over there. But caveat is it takes longer to do. because it's going through a completely separate process. Next is our crushed ore in the refinery. Again, same stuff. It still cannot do iron, cobalt, what were the other ones? Cobalt, silicon, nickel, and copper. But it does aluminum, titanium, silver, gold, platinum, tantalum. And we get 900, 600, 150, 75, 37.5, 1.5, which comes out to an average of 1.5 yield versus control. Now, this is 1.5 yield, so tantalum is 15 here and 10 here. That's 1.5. So every ore, 1.5 yield if you just want to crush it. Next, we have our smelter. After going through the process of crushing it, then turning the crushed ore into purified ore, and then turning the purified ore into actual materials that we can use. So again, this takes longer, but it produces 2 times the yield. You can see it on the screen: 1600, 1400, 1400, 1200, and 800. And the same with the refinery. Same process. Goes through it all. And it's 2 times the yield versus our control mode over here. So that's about it for our process. Now, like I said before, it's going to take longer because now it goes through a crusher, and then the crusher goes into a purifier, then the purifier goes into the refinery, and then the refinery comes out with a result. Now, you'll also notice in here, we have other ores here. None of this stuff can be put through the refinery. So no purified sulfur, nickel, cobalt, silicon, copper, iron, lithium, or uranium can be put through the refinery. Same thing over here, but with different materials. You can't put aluminum, sulfur, lithium, titanium, tantalum, platinum, uranium, silver, or gold through the smelter, which is usual. But they can all still be crushed and purified. The only one that cannot be crushed or purified is coal and oil sand, because these use a completely different process to do with. Coal, you use it raw for our coal power plant, which is right here. Coal power plant pushes out steam. The steam runs these turbines. These steam turbines. And each one of these steam turbines put out 50 megawatts. And you can even build up more steam and store steam in here. It doesn't work in creative, but that's just how. Just believe me. But the steam also requires water. Obviously, it's basically boiling with coal and outputs steam. So coal and water, I think. We'll go more into that when I actually get to that point in my Abandoned Frontier survival. But that's going to be it. As you might also notice, I am using the Tethers mod, and I'm also using a Pipelines mod, which you have not seen yet. So let's go on back over here. And we're going to say goodbye. Thank you very much for joining me, and I hope you learned something. Anyway, until next time, I have been Relaxed Gamer, and I will see you guys later. Ciao.